Why high altitude is such a big problem. How we think that we are strong, we can hit the gym 5 days per week, yet struggle climbing mountain. And why is it that we're okay flying in an airplane between 31,000 to 38,000 feet above sea level? And what about at high altitude flatulence? Also, how does acetazolamide work its magic to help with high altitude sickness? The reason that we have high altitude sickness is due to hypoxemia, the abnormally low concentration of oxygen in the blood. As we go up mountain, the amount of oxygen in our blood decreases. We will compare the amount of oxygen dissolved into our blood at sea level in 15,000 feet high. First, we have to look at the barometric pressure, which is the pressure within the atmosphere of Earth, which is 716 millimeters of mercury at sea level and only 429 millimeters of mercury at 15,000 feet. However, this is not the total air that reaches the lung. As air passes through the nasal cavities, it is humidified so that the air that reaches our lung is warm and moist. That humidified air makes up the saturated vapor pressure of about 47 millimeters of mercury. Now, since oxygen makes up about 21% of that barometric pressure, let's plug everything into a formula to find out how much partial pressure of oxygen we have. We're gonna take barometric pressure, subtract saturated vapor pressure, times the percentage of oxygen, which is 21%. That gives us partial pressure of oxygen of 149 millimeters of mercury at sea level and only 80 millimeters of mercury at 15,000 feet. So what does this PaO2 number mean? It means that when we have a decrease in PaO2, less oxygen flows from the alveoli to the blood. Because of this lower availability of oxygen, we start to hyperventilate, pushing all the carbon dioxide out. The pH in our blood increases, we enter a state of respiratory alkalosis. We start to feel dizzy, have discomfort in the chest area and tingling sensation. So this is how acetazolamide works. Acetazolamide is a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. It works by decreasing the amount of bicarbonate in the body. Remember how our body pushes out all the carbon dioxide and become alkaline? The excretion of bicarbonate would help make the blood more acidic, causing compensatory hyperventilation, increasing the level of oxygen in our blood. For the medication to work its best though, you would have to take it 1 to 2 days before you start to climb. Continue taking it while climbing and 48 hours after you have reached your final altitude. Now let's talk about high altitude flatulence. If you ever feel embarrassed that you pass gas more than normal when you climb, do not worry. Everybody is going through the same thing. When the atmospheric pressure decreases, the volume of intestinal gas in our bowels increases. The greater the volume of intestinal gas, means the more we're gonna pass that gas. How about flying in an airplane? How do we deal with the high altitude? The answer is that most aircraft cabins are pressurized to 8,000 feet above sea level. So while flying at about 31,000 to 38,000 feet high, we only lose about 4% of oxygen in the blood. Then what happens if a plane loses cabin pressure? The passenger would suffocate. That's why we need to put on those little masks immediately if the plane starts to drop down or when cabin depressurization occurs. Unfortunately, tragedy of depressurization does happen. It killed a golfer, Payne Stewart, and everyone else on his plane in 1999. There are statues of him all over the world to honor his amazing career. Now, what happens if we climb at that height? Well, it's death zone. Death zone altitude is 26,000 feet or 8,000 meters and above. The air is so thin, the lungs cannot get enough oxygen and cells begin to die. Hikers also suffer from high altitude pulmonary edema and cerebral edema. Great respect for climbers who attempted to climb Mount Everest, also known as Chomolungma, at 29,000 feet. 4,000 people have conquered the mountain since 1953, but hundreds also perished. Would you ever attempt to climb Mount Everest? I hope you find this video informative. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this.